now we're going to do the typical introductions into my first interview with the first streamer that I've come across. A very good friend of mine, very recent friend, but a very good friend nonetheless. My name's Narrcost, of course, and I'm gonna be hosting this little interview, and hopefully we'll be able to do more of these in the future. I've been meaning to do this for a number of months now, ever since I hit my peak in the the streaming community.
Ever since you made it big, right?
Yeah, ever since I made it big. Now I'm turning back. Now I'm turning back the clock and turning back the camera on other streamers in Twitch. So, who's the fine young gentleman that I have before me today?
This is Lasercat of Lasercat006. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing.
How you doing?
Doing quite well. I can't complain. I can't complain at all. So, other than your name is Lasercat, and so I have to ask, because this has been my ponderance ever since I saw your name. Where did you come up with your Twitch name?
Oh, well, I think all Twitch names have a really good story. Like, mine is actually pretty interesting. Like, remember when Halo 3 was coming out?
Yes, and
Like,
the bee thing.
Yeah, like Halo 3 was like, all the hype going around that game, right?
Yeah.
They released a trailer. I remember they released a trailer when they were showing off more of the gameplay, but they were also showing off a new weapon, which was the Spartan laser. I'm pretty sure that was in 3, not in 2.
Right,
That was in
Spartan
3.
Laser. I think Spartan Laser was 3. Yeah, because me and my buddies played a lot of 3, but it wasn't in 2.
Yeah. So I have a friend that's still my really good friend to this day. His name is actually DarkSim007. And up until that point, I didn't really have a name to play with him online. And he knew I like cats and all that stuff, right? And then when you see this trailer for Halo 3, they actually had this cool little like bonus bit at the end where they show a montage of them using the Spartan laser. And this was the first time I saw it. I fucking lost my shit when I saw this weapon, dude. I was just like, dude, this thing's amazing. And it had like a montage, and right before they showed the montage, they showed a picture of this cat shooting lasers out of its eyes, and it said, "Lasercat demands more lasers." And then I went nuts over this trailer. I kept on talking about it, and then he's like, "You know what, man? Your name should be Lasercat." And so we did Lasercat, and then the 006 is actually because he's 007 and I'm 006, which is from Trevlin from GoldenEye.
Yeah.
If you ever watch GoldenEye, he actually has a partner, and he's actually 006. And
so now that's the origin, huh?
Yeah, up until that point, I was actually Trevlin 006.
Oh.
But yeah, Trevlin 006. But it didn't really roll off the tongue. And then Lasercat, they were like, shit. Yeah, Lasercat, let's do that.
Yeah, because that is one of those. It was just one of those things, like Lasercat. Like what? Like what's the story behind that? Like I was thinking, like it was something like a little less like. A little, I guess, a little more subtle than that. Like, oh, you know how cats like to chase laser beams? Like, that's about it. That's the only thing I assumed of.
No, I like to put a huge emphasis on anything I'm doing, basically. like if it doesn't have a cool story behind it, I don't think it should be worth it, you know?
Right. That's one of the more interesting stories I've ever heard from an actual Twitch origin story. I don't remember seeing that though, the Lasercat, because me and my buddies were super hyped for Halo 3.
You don't remember that montage?
I don't remember the cat montage.
Okay, I'm gonna have to find it later, but it's like I remember because there was a trailer, and then right after we saw the montage of them using the Spartan laser. It might have been 2 separate trailers actually. It might have just been someone's montage of them using the laser, and then they put Lasercat demands more lasers.
Yeah, because
oh my god! But that was amazing. Like I was hyped for that game, like you wouldn't believe. Like during that time, and it was really well. Actually, my friend Dark, he was more hyped than I was, but he really wanted him to play. He really wanted me to play with him because having your best friend playing with you is always the best team, you know.
Right.
So
absolutely.
So he's like, I don't want to call you Trevlin the whole time because that's not going to roll off the tongue. So I think Lasercat is going to be better. So he gave me that name. He was my father.
He named you. He surnamed you with Lasercat. That's Now,
go ahead.
I was going to say now with Halo and everything else, did you actually try to go competitive with Halo, or is that something that you just enjoyed with your friends? Because now I got really serious into Halo 3. I was kind of a noob until Halo 3 personally came out, and I did game battles, and that's when just literally got ass rammed by a team. I lost my first match in game battles in less than a minute in Capture the Flag. That's how bad they beat us, and then we kind of gave up hope from there because that was pretty bad.
Yeah, getting your shit pushed in isn't fun.
Yeah, I was definitely shitting pancakes for at least 2.5 weeks when it came down to playing Halo 3 game battles.
No, like I said, Dark, he was the Halo 3 guy. He was big on Halo 1, Halo 2, and Halo 1. I mean, yeah, Halo 1, Halo 2, and Halo 3. And he just needed a really good teammate. I was mostly support. I would always covering fire. I was the support guy pretty much. If Destiny actually did a good job and made a support class system with all these different like classes, I would have been the support class, because that's how I play my shooters. I always just support the other people. I'm always the healer. I'm always the guy getting the ammo. I'm that guy, basically.
You're always that guy.
Yeah, I'm always that guy. And you need that guy on a team, really.
Every time.
So I kind of embraced it. You know what? I want to be the support guy. I don't want to be in the spotlight. I'll just be in the back.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, well, now I wish I would have met you about, 7 years ago now when we really got into it, because that was our problem. Everybody wanted to be main slayer every single time.
And that's why most teams lost, man, because they would always kind of just go in front and then take all that fire. And they're like, oh, it's okay. I'm just going to take on the whole team by myself. And I'm like, no, let's stick together, man. But yeah, I miss those days when Halo was still fun.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Everybody has mixed feelings on Halo 4, and I still kind of do, where it was Call of Duty, Halo 4, Combat Evolved, whatever it was. I was like, I kind of like it. It feels really nice, but, it's like that. It's just like you're like, one of your ex-girlfriends or boyfriends or whatever it might be. Yeah, they sure felt nice at the given time. And then you kind of look back and you're like, what the fuck did I do? What the fuck? What am I doing here? What was I, I invested so much time into, nothing. And I was like, shit. But
dude, I know exactly how you feel. Like I felt the same way about the Assassin's Creed series. I was big into the Assassin's Creed series all the way until 3, and that's when everything just took a huge shit.
What you mean? It was just Connor? Connor was the best one.
What? Oh boy. No. Okay. All right. You better be.
No, yeah, no.
You don't want to bring this back, man. I'm having like PTSD right now.
PTSD.
Yeah.
From
we need to save that for another podcast, dude. That's a huge story I have to tell you about how hype I was about that game, and the huge disappointment that happened when that game finally dropped. It's epic. It's like it's going to take at least 3 podcasts to get through that story.
I'm all down about an Assassin's Creed rant, because I was disappointed out the gate with Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed 1, I waited I don't know how many hours. I think I got to GameStop for my Assassin's Creed fun for, I think it was like 3 hours prior, because I was so stoked because that initial CG trailer, you're like,
dude, that was amazing.
That was
amazing.
Next gen AI. Like if you stand above them, they can't see you. Like how cool is that? And then I got that game and I was like, why the fuck am I only climbing up buildings and I see the same Falcon or wherever, the Eagle, going back and forth, back and forth. It was so redundant. I was so mad.
Not to mention that last mission in 3, when you're running after the guy, everybody got stuck in the initial release because you don't know where to go. And I remember I would get stuck. I would keep getting stuck. I was just almost breaking my controller. I was just holding my you can pretend like this is my controller. I was just like, God damn it! Why can't I get through this last part? And it's just terrible, man. We got to do a stream about how we talk about disappointing hype games one day.
God.
We got to go through all of them. We got to go through the Destinies. We got to go through the Assassin's Creeds. We got the Halos.
Yeah,
we got to go through the Call of Duties. We got to go through all of them, man.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot. I'm going to have to... We should probably drink during that.
That'd be great.
Yeah, we got to drink on that and see how our opinions still change and see who made the most convincing argument. But still, this is what Prince Darlin has to say into the chat here. I'm big on AC, but Unity was, That's what a lot of people have been saying. That French Revolution one was really bad. I stopped at 4. 4 is actually my favorite, which is a really...
Black Flag, yeah, Black Flag.
Black Flag was like that was one of the first PS4 games I got, and that was the only one where I was like, well, at least I'm not punching like medieval like hobos anymore in the face and throwing coins at them. So I was like, I liked it, and plus the damn pirate shanty.
Yeah.
Pirate shanties for days, just rocking out to them. I was like, I was singing them like during college, and I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Ye old wrench, we coming to the sea, and it just puts you into the mood. Like I thought 4 was good, but again, I didn't think it was an Assassin's Creed game. I
Right.
thought it was a good pirate game. It was a great
Right, it was
pirate
one
game.
of the best pirate games I've ever played.
Yeah,
Yes.
but it wasn't an Assassin's Creed game.
Right.
Like to me personally, at least, because I was like, dude, where's the Brotherhood? Where's everybody? Why am I playing as this guy? I thought he was a great character. Don't get me wrong. I thought he was a great character,
Right.
but again, it didn't feel like an Assassin's Creed game to me, though.
I was, well, now that we went off a tangent from your laser stories, the
Sorry,
Assassin's
sorry.
Creed. That's fine. No, that's what I expected was going to happen anyways. So now I have to ask, what was the origin of your Twitch origin? What made you pick up that controller and then turn a camera on yourself and put yourself out
Jeez.
there? What started that?
What made me pick up the controller? Well, let's see. I guess it stems from, for the longest time, I used to be a QA tester back in the day. I used to test for Activision and Electronic Arts.
A lot of people's dream
Yeah.
jobs.
Yeah, it was it was a lot of fun at first. It was really cool. I went to Activision for like 2 years. I went to EA for almost 3 years as a tester. But towards the end of my third year at EA, it got really kind of corporate, and it started getting a lot less fun because they wouldn't let us do anything. Because this was starting to get to a time when the 360 came out, the PS3 came out,
Oh, God,
and,
yeah.
and the security started getting very tight on everything. So they wouldn't let us do anything. Like they wouldn't let us have fun at work anymore. And I was also getting really huge too. I was turning into Fat Cat instead of Lazy Cat. Because they would give you free food as a tester. They would give you
Oh,
like,
so
time
to
food.
help you out there, huh?
Yeah.
Keep on testing. We'll feed you.
and free energy drinks too.
Oh
But-
God! So they kept you wired. So it was
Yeah.
like torture. They were trying to make you as
Yeah,
complacent
exactly.
as possible. Just
like-
eat and drink as much as you can. So like Rome, the Rome of the video game testing world.
Pretty much. They were like, keep drinking those energy drinks. Keep working, slave. like, but yeah, but then after my third year, I kind of got out of it because it wasn't fun anymore, and I was playing broken games all the time, obviously, because these games are all like pre-alpha, beta games,
Oh God!
and you can imagine how it is to play those games. On average, I would play 102 hours a week on average.
Holy hell!
Playing those
Really?
places. 102 hours. I remember very vividly. I would see the sun come up inside my cubicle. I would see the sun come up, and I would be like, "Holy shit! Is the sun coming up? Have I been?" And so yeah, I used to do those like mad crazy. So then I got out of it for a long time, and I kind of missed the whole Justin TV thing. I missed all that,
Yes.
unfortunately.
Me
like,
too. I had no idea what streaming was until about 2013.
Exactly. And it wasn't until last year, like a good maybe 5 or 6 years later or something like that, where I started seeing people stream. And that's when the PS4 came out and it had the Twitch app, right?
Right.
And I was like, you know what? I'll just stream on my own. And I started streaming that game 1001 Spikes like last year. And
One of my favorite games.
yeah, dude. Amazing game, right?
Right,
Amazing.
right. Very good game. Very underrated game, I think.
Just the kind of game you need to like cut your wrists,
Yeah, just get
It's like-
pissed off. You get pissed off constantly. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember there was one night I played. It was maybe I got home from work. It was like maybe 2 in the morning because I work nights at my bar. I'm a bartender, and my friend Khan, who is my right hand man in my whole streaming thing, you'll know him as Outrageous Khan. He called me that night and he was like, "Dude, you should stream for a bit. I want to see you play 1001 Spikes." And I was like, I don't know. I'm kind of tired. But I was like, okay, I'll try. So I went on. I streamed 1001 Spikes, and I got to the boss, the first boss, not the last boss, the first one, the Egyptian guy, right?
Right.
And I got to that guy, and all of a sudden, I don't know what happened, man. Maybe I got raided or something. I don't know. But back then, I didn't know what raiding was.
Right.
But all of a sudden, I had almost 200 people watching me playing that game.
Holy crap.
And this was like maybe my third time streaming, my third time. And I was just like, holy shit, who are all these people? And I didn't want to stop. And
Right.
but I was tired, and I wasn't playing at max level because I died at that boss 163 times in a row.
Holy shit.
And no one left. Everyone kept on watching. Everyone kept on watching. Like some of them might have been trolls. Actually, now that I think about it, some of them were like, "Just keep going, man. Just keep going." But it was just like
Right.
it was such an experience. It brought me back to those days of playing with my friends, with my cousins back in the day, playing like Super Mario,
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye,
Yeah,
and uh,
Slapshot.
Mar- and Mario Kart, and it brought me back to those feelings of having your friends with you while you're doing this epic thing, you know, and I was like, damn, that felt really cool. And so then not until like a few months later, my friend Adam by default, you know him, right?
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
like
I,
he actually met me when I actually met him because he came on my stream during that 1001 Spikes.
right.
He wasn't a streamer back then, he was just a viewer.
Right. That's the same thing that happened on how I met him.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah, and he would tell me, dude, you should stream, man. I want to see you stream. I'm like, oh, I don't know. But then come this year, Adam fucking blew up.
Right.
He became the Mac Daddy of Twitch streaming all of a
Right.
sudden. And then he was like, Lasercat, what's up, man? What's up with you? Why aren't you streaming? And then I was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm gonna stream too. and then and you know, and it's also because you know I kind of want to build a community too when it comes to streaming. Like a lot of times you'll come on and you'll watch Twitch channels and you'll see people, you know, they don't really talk to the chat that much. I really try to make an effort to talk to my laser cats, you know,
Right.
and try to build a community. Because I really try to view them all as my friends who are with me, at least into that grand day when I might get like 1,000 people watching or something like that, and then I can't
Yeah.
keep up.
That's right.
But until that day happens, I'm gonna make most of my effort to try to talk to every single person that comes in and really build a connection, which is really hard. But I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best.
Right. Well, yeah. It's especially there is a ton of difficulty when it comes down to at least making connection with your fans. Oftentimes, what I've discovered in my time on Twitch was that you change your game, you change your audience. So
Yeah, yeah.
that was my thing. My first big break really was during Tomb Raider.
Mm.
Before I even had a cam, before I even had anything to really game with, it was all based off of literally my buddy daring me.
Was it on PS4?
Yeah, it was on the PS4.
Okay.
I had
Okay.
no idea, no intentions. I was like, oh, who the hell's going to use the share button? Why am I going to use the share button? Who could give a shit? And then my buddy was like, I really want to see Tomb Raider, and I think you'd probably be good at streaming. I was like, I have no background in this. Are you kidding me? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what you expect from me and all that. Like, and then one day I was playing, and 89 people showed up. Like, eventually,
Really?
it started
Tomb
off.
Raider.
Yeah, for Tomb Raider,
Wow.
it started off with 5
Nice.
people, then it turned to
Nice.
7, then it turned to
Nice.
14, and then it kept growing. And
Nice.
the words of encouragement, I was like, damn. Like, that was the same thing with me. It was the commodity more than anything
Feels
else.
great, right? Feels great when people come on your stream and they're like, dude, I really like your stream. I think you're doing a great job. Doesn't it just fill you with like this, like a whoa, really? You think so?
Oh,
And it's just, yeah. And I like that feeling. I want more of that, man. I want more of that. You know?
Right, and that's really hard because it is ultimately Twitch is a very competitive place to be at.
Uh-huh. I know that's for sure.
It's super competitive because everybody thinks that they deserve the partnership. And the thing is that especially these guys who have made it already, they've lost like they can't keep that connection anymore because it's so they're so on them. You know, it's so like you're in the spotlight constantly. When you become an internet celebrity, it's really difficult. And that was like the thing that I have. So I don't know if this has happened, but like, how do you deal with the growth? Like, it seems like, you know, you have a pretty great sense of fan base. Like, your fan base is already knowing they know your mannerisms. They know they're communicating. They're all about that cat laser nation or,
Yeah.
you know, that's, so I know it's bound to happen. So how do you deal with people, you know, that come in? They say, you know what? Hey, dude, why aren't you playing with me? Why aren't you?
Exactly, yeah.
Why can I join you? Can we do this? Can we do that? So like that, like how do you deal with those troubles? Like what's the biggest problem that you've had in your Twitch career so far that you've started, like with your fan base?
I think the hardest thing is trying to be able to stick with just one game. That's the hardest thing because I love trying out all kinds of games. Like to me, I'm a very kind of ADD kind of gamer. I'll play a game for a little while and I'll experience the initial factor of it, but then I'll go online. I'll see this interesting review or this blog post about a different game. I'll be like, shit, I want to try that game too, and then I'll jump to that one too. Like I'm very into like the niche kind of games, you know.
Right.
And but then, like you said, the like this happened to me like 3 days ago actually. Like my followers, they were saying like, hey, when are you gonna play Tira again? Because they want me to go back to Tira.
Right.
Or like when are you gonna go back and play Catherine? Or when are you gonna go
Oh,
back and play
God, Catherine.
Bloodborne? Or
Yeah.
when are you gonna go back and play what's another one we were playing? Uh it was Bloodborne, Catherine. There was one other one. But anyway, it that and oh yeah, Free Runners, Free Runners.
Free runners. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Free
yeah.
Runners.
Very good games, though. Very good
Yeah, yeah,
games.
all great games, but slowly I'm starting to feel the tug of multiple people just being like, Lasercat, come play with me. Lasercat, come play with me. Lasercat, come play with me. And I'm loving it. I really love it a lot. But deep down, I know that I'm disappointing people though, because sometimes they'll
Right.
come on and they'll be like, "Oh, I hope he's playing Tira today. I'm not," or "I hope he's playing Catherine and I'm not." And I'll just try to communicate with them and be like, you know what, today I'm playing this because I kind of want to expose this game. And deep down, I think I'm just gonna have to say that I'm just that kind of gamer where I like to show off new games at a time and then come back to them eventually. But again, like you're saying, it's tough because you're changing audiences and people might not like that. But
Right.
I gotta be who I am. I don't want to be a different person. I want to be myself. I want to be me. I want to be Lasercat. I don't want to be Joe Schmo. I want to be Lasercat. So if I feel like I want to show this game today, I should be able to show that game. And I think the people who are my true fans would understand that. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, just because that is essentially, I feel like my growth was completely abnormal. I started out of as a just like as a bet. Hey man, come and do it. And before I knew it, I had 100 people. Then I had 300 people. Then I had
That sexy voice, man. It's that sexy voice of
well,
yours.
that's what it was with Tomb Raider. That's what kept people around, and that was very, very weird to me.
Like I feel bad that I missed that stream. I think I would have loved that.
That's what. And then it was Outlast. Outlast, I got extremely lucky. And it started off as I guess what you would say is a dare. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Outlast, but the nightmare difficulty.
Yeah, that's not the hardest difficulty, right?
Right, and if you die at any point in the game, you go back to the beginning.
The very beginning of the game?
Very beginning of the game, and you
Oh,
had to do
shit.
everything all over again. I
Nice.
spent 2 weeks trying to beat that game without dying at the end. And people, and one day I got raided or something, and there was
Damn.
700, 800 people in the room. And they
Damn.
were just all saying, hashtag believe, you can do it,
Oh,
Nar.
that's great.
You
That's
can
great.
do it, Nar. You do it, Nar. And then I ran, and I was at the final jump in the game, and I miss it. Start from all the way back in the beginning of the game, and they still stayed with me all the way through. And that's when I first hit the big deal. But then
Wow.
I stumbled across the problem of I changed the game. People didn't start showing up again. People were always asking, hey, when are you going to do Outlast? When are you going to do the Outlast? And I went and played Outlast. I'd probably beaten Outlast on Nightmare difficulty well over 25 times now.
Really?
Just from fan requests alone, the
Same.
giving that, and now I can't stand it. And so
Yeah.
that's always the issue. They're always coming. The fan base always seems to come back. They whatever game they found you in, it's very difficult for you to stem away from that because they want you to stick to that genre. Maybe they just want me to do scary games. They don't want me to do an RPG. They don't want me to do a first-person shooter because that's not what Narrcost was about. But I don't know what the hell Narrcost was about. So I always switch around and try a different game just to experience something, not get bored with it, because it's hard to be scared of a scary game if you know exactly what pixel that person's going to come out at. So
I totally agree, man. That's why, personally, I think that you should be able to play any game you want.
Right.
And if your people don't stay, then maybe they're not true followers. You know.
right.
You know, it's just that. At least that's the way I see it. Because you're putting on a show. You're putting on a show that you're showing off these great games. You're excited about it. You're thinking about it all night long when you're sleeping, and you get up in the morning and like, yes, today's the day I'm going to finally play that game because I've been thinking about it all night. And you go on there, and you have this enthusiasm. I'd much rather have that than a person who's like, okay, I'm going to go through Outlast again today.
Right.
And, it's sure it might be cool, but to me, I would much appreciate seeing a caster a streamer come onto your stream totally full of life and just be like, yes, today's the day. Oh, by the way, that's another problem I've had is not getting enough sleep from my streams. Not getting
Yep.
enough sleep.
That's
Like I hate coming onto my streams tired. I just hate that. I feel like I'm underperforming for my followers
right.
because you'll get into the zone and then you won't talk anymore and you'll just be like, it's like, and like I've missed a couple days and missing a couple days as a streamer feels like 5 weeks for a
Right.
follower, you know. So, and then they'll come on like, Lasercat, where you been? I'm like, I've only been gone for like 2 days. I
Right.
was just resting up because I did a 15-hour stream the other day,
Right.
and it's just it's hard. It's hard to find your groove, basically.
Right. And
It's hard to find your groove.
no, that's the truth because it is it. I don't want to say it's a personal sacrifice, but it's a portion. You are giving yourself out to your audiences, and you're trying to do these new things, trying to keep it entertaining. But when you do 15 hours at a time, that's a job. Like that,
Yeah.
that's hard. It's hard to stay on point for 15 hours. Most of the time, when you go into theater or whatever it is, I have a slight theater background. I don't know if you can consider it a theater background, but yeah, you spend maybe 3 to 5 hours. That 3 to 5 hours of just constantly hitting the same thing, getting your social cues, getting whatever you need out of it. And
Right.
especially when you're in the spotlight, you're a human being. You're on for 15 hours. You have to go to the bathroom. You have to, and it's amazing how many people you lose, or how many people that just go off screen, don't come back because, you weren't there constantly, 100%
Exactly.
giving that entertainment.
Exactly.
And that
It's-
sucks.
Yeah, like you leave your stream just for a second to like maybe get some water, and then you come back and you see someone was there and then you left. He'll be like, "Hello, hey, is anybody here?" And I'll be like, "Oh wait, I was here. I just went to go eat, to get a drink. I'm right here." And you're just like, and you lose a person. I mean, but that's another thing I've been trying to get over is the feeling of losing people or not gaining people. I'm just trying to have like for the longest time I would get depressed about it, and my
Right.
friend Khan would come over, and he'll be like, "No, it's not about that, man." And I realize, it's not about the followers, it's not about the fame, it's about it's about the game and showing people how fun that game can be,
Right.
and just getting them interested in that game. Like it's funny because I was playing Tira, and a lot of my followers have been playing Tira now, and I feel like I was kind of like the gateway into Tira. Because
Right.
I was like, dude, I'm loving this game. It's awesome. And I've had so many nights where, like, remember on PS4 how they display how many people are watching?
Right.
I had one time. This was last year when I was streaming. I must have streamed like maybe 8 hours, 8 or 9 hours, and it was only one viewer for 8 or 9 hours the whole time.
Right.
Right. And then at the end of that eighth hour, I looked. I was like, who's this guy who's been watching me this whole time? And you know what? It was actually me watching through my iPad because I
Yeah.
have the iPad on the chat, and I was just like, wow. So that means I've been talking to myself the whole time. So I remember I used to take a piece of tape and I used to cover up that viewer thing on the PS4 on my monitor because I didn't want to know how many people were watching because it would actually bring me down.
Ah.
So
that's smart. And I
Yes.
never even thought about doing that. Usually, just deal with it. You got 0 people in the room. Talk to yourself. Talk to yourself the entire time. So
But yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, if you want to go on, I just have a couple. Yeah, I'm going to go through just a few things I was thinking of in the pre-time before the interview. But go on.
No. I was just gonna say how the viewer count can really bring down streamers, especially people who are just starting out, because they'll think they're bad, they'll think they're not a good streamer. But really, the viewer count has nothing to do with it. The viewer count has nothing to do with it at all. It's all about like your natural feelings. Because as long as you're being yourself, I promise you, you will get followers, no matter who you are. As long as you're being yourself.
It's
'Cause-
legitimate. That's what
yeah.
they're looking for.
Exactly. They're looking for genuine people. And that's why I tried, like, for the longest time, I would go on and try to, like, just kind of do a show, like, not really be myself, like, initially, like 2 years ago.
Right.
But then I realized, I'm just gonna have fun. And then that's when I realized people were staying and having a good time with me because I was being me. I wasn't covering up my natural feelings. I would give my straight up opinion about things, what I truly believe, and then they would stay. And because they knew that man, this guy, he's actually talking from the heart. And that means so much more to me than just seeing a guy go through the motions, you know?
Right. So actually, there's a pretty good question here from Prince. How do you go about putting a desirable amount of focus on a game while the same amount of the people of same amount of, on the people watching? So how do you split? I guess how you split your attention between the game and the people?
Oh, yeah, that's a hard thing, isn't it, man?
Yes,
It's a hard
that's one of the worst things, and that's what I promise. I'm better at video games than this, but a lot of the times I'm trying to read. Like I'm pretty sure that I've gone cross-eyed during this whole thing, just
It's
trying
like,
to like,
whoop.
okay, yeah, yeah, man, I agree with that. Welcome to the stream. Okay, then you have a 6 foot fucking like giant Tyrannosaurus gorilla monster like hitting you with a battle axe, and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. And that's like what it is. And I've even gotten yelled at, I think, before for paying too much attention to the chat and not playing the video game. And I was like,
Yeah,
but damn
it's
it,
strange, huh?
yeah, it's what's weird because that's what keeps me going. I actually quit video gaming in its entirety for about
I've been there. I've been there.
like 2 years. I just quit. I was like, okay, I'm done. I think I had an Xbox 360. It red ringed, and it took them that long. Just took them that long to get me my Xbox back for some reason, and I had forgotten about it. So I literally just quit video gaming. I went cold turkey, and I just didn't care. It was only when my friend said, "Hey, Nar, why don't you start playing again? Why don't you just keep on playing again? Like, come and play with us." And it was
Yeah.
Halo 3. Halo 3 actually started me back playing video games. And so it's really difficult. It's really difficult to split that,
It's
especially with the built-in lag and everything else
Yeah.
that's built into the chat. Sometimes when you try to say, "Hey, man, welcome to the stream," they're already gone because they think that you're ignoring them. And that
Exactly.
sucks.
I know
Worse
that
than
sucks
anything.
too. I mean that's the thing I'm trying to. Again, that's the thing that I think most streamers will get. That's going to happen to them eventually, especially when they start getting like maybe 30 to 40 to 50 people watching them, right? Whatever, and they'll come up and they'll be like, "Hey, Narrcost, how's it going?" Or "Hey, Lasercat, how's it going? I haven't seen you in a while," and you just won't see it because maybe you're focused on something at that
Right.
moment, and then you look back, and then the chat already went all the way up, and then you didn't see it, and then he'll probably feel bad,
Right.
but yeah, that's why I think at this moment, the way I try to deal with it is to just try to talk to each person as much as I can initially. So then when that person comes again, he'll know that I mean well. That if I don't see his message immediately, he'll be like, "Oh, I know he's just focused at the moment," basically.
Right.
I mean, because that's kind of why I kind of stem away from the PS4. If you notice,
Right.
you get a lot more views on the PS4 than you do on the PC.
Right.
Right.
It's very
And
difficult on the PC. Very.
yeah, it's very difficult on PC. But to me, I kind of view the PC as a way to get to know my viewers more than the PS4. Because on the PS4, you might get a ton of people watching, going in and out, going in and out, going in and out. But on the PC, people will stick around sometimes. So I'll
Right.
take a break. I'll be like, "Hey man, how's it going? What kind of games you been playing?" Like, and really try to get to know the guy or know the girl or whoever it is.
Right.
And then when I see them later, and the way I deal with it is to create this thing called the pew pew, basically.
Pew pew.
Yeah, the pew pew. Where back when I first started again this year streaming again, when I finally got my PC, because I didn't want to stream on the PS4 anymore because I was sick and tired of the PS4 games, sick and tired of them, right? So I was like, I'm gonna get my PC. I'm gonna play the games I want. The PS3 library, the PS2 library, DS, Wii U, anything, right?
Right.
So and so I started streaming again. I did this whole Lasercat thing, and I started building the Lasercat-topia, right? And eventually, one of my viewers, I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been Fraganos or Noble. I have those two followers.
Right.
And one of them started saying pew pew to me. And I was like, "Oh, what's that?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm shooting lasers at you," right? And I was like, "Oh, you know what? That's a good idea." So I kind of made up this thing where whenever a Lasercat comes into my channel and says hi, I say pew pew. And it's kind of like in Hawaii when they say aloha,
Right.
where it's like it means hello and goodbye, basically.
Right.
So whenever they come into the stream, I will make them say pew pew, and I would make them say pew pew when they leave. So then they do a double text, so it's harder for me to miss them, basically.
Oh.
And also it builds this persona where we're celebrating. Well, I'm welcoming them in. And I'm saying goodbye to them each time with these pew pews. So that's how I'm dealing with it. I have to give credit to my followers for coming up with that. So
That's actually really cool.
yeah.
That's that's something I really that that's something that actually kind of happened unintentionally with me,
Mm-hmm.
and the Narcos Nation thing. I really did.
Narcos Nation, man.
Yeah, Narcos Nation, and that, and numerous quotes. A lot of my old, I guess you can say, old time followers that have been there since the very beginning. They still make references to Outlast and some of the things they said when I initially was very scared, like Poo Rocket. Every once in a while,
Rock.
yeah, because there was a point where I said in Outlast, I would say, "Screw this!" I would literally poo a rocket out of the ceiling, and I would get the hell out of there. I wouldn't even care. Fuck the cameras. Fuck the story. I have a big giant pig monster man coming after me. He rips my head off with his own hands. I would get the hell out of here.
Right.
And so it was just. It's always nice for the people to come back and remind you. You know, they drop the old time sayings when you first started off, and it was just. It always feels great. Like, you always wish that you could just reach out and like really talk with the people, but then the problem is this growing pains. And I can probably tell you're probably going to start launching off very soon. Like, your community, even for the little bit that I came in here for today, was one of the best communities I've ever seen.
Oh, I thank you.
In
Thank
a
you.
stream. And so
Thank
it was crazy. It's insane. It was the same thing with Adam. When Adam used to come, Adam by default, some of you might be familiar with him, some of you may not. When he first started off, I actually, he used to come to my stream every once in a while, and he says to this day, I'm the one who inspired him. I hate saying that.
That's great, man. You're the enabler.
I was the enabler because I played Rayman Origins and cussed my way through it because I died a bunch of times in it. And it's really weird, especially like when you start seeing the hundreds of followers, hundreds of followers, hundreds of people in the stream. And I've only gotten those a handful of times, but it's just insane to see like that much support for something. And
man.
And to be said that you're inspiration to start doing something, it's really weird, because when you become a streamer, you're almost, to some people, you're a hero, you're an idol for a game, and they'll go and buy your recommendation. So like, how do you live up with your status as like being the hero, the true
commander
cat, or whatever it would be, Commander Cat.
Yeah, Commander Lasercat of Lasercat006.
Yeah, like how do you deal with like that pressure, knowing that there's so many eyes, so many hearts into this?
I love it. I love having those people totally invested in my stream because I know I'm doing a good job. But like I really don't see it as a bad thing. Like to me, if I had 1,000 people watching my stream, I don't think I would be any less me. I don't think I would be nervous or anything. I would actually be very excited. I'll be like, man, look at all the people we got right now. This is awesome, you know? Like, because I remember when Adam by default, he had that one day when he had 1,000 people watching him on GTA 5.
Right.
And he was
servers, yeah. Jesus.
And he was pretty scared. He was like his face. He was just like you could see the terror in his eyes. And he was just,
that was huge, because he was one of the lucky folks. That was the same thing that he got lucky with Grand Theft Auto and the servers being down, but his weren't. So he was able to get in GTA heists before anyone else, and that was nuts.
That was nuts.
I was there for that day, seeing it go to 700 to 1,100 people in a room at
1,000 people, man.
Yeah, it was insane.
But to me, if I was in those shoes, I think I would have been on top of the world myself. Right. I would have been like, dude, this is amazing. We got 1,000 people watching my channel. Out of all the millions of channels out there, I would feel so privileged and so honored to have that many people in there. And really, with anybody who's watched my stream, even if it's just like 2 or 3 or 4 people, it still means a lot to me because of how many streams there are out there at this moment of people playing.
Right.
And to have them there and watching me and spending their time watching me, sometimes 3 or 4 hours or 5 or 6 hours that my followers stay, it means the world to me. And it's just so nice. So nice, man. Like, it's like I said, it harkens back to those days of sitting on the couch with your cousins or your family or your friends and playing a game together all night long. And then you're finally at that last boss and you do it and everyone's like, yeah, we finally did it. And it feels like a family, basically.
Right. And it's one of the most fulfilling sensations ever. It's awesome.
I mean, but I know the dark days might come one day, so I'm preparing for that. But again, whenever I think about that, I always just try to remember the way I started and the why I keep streaming every day. It's because of the true fans, the true followers, and the people who really look up to you, you know?
Right.
And and when I think about that, I keep on going, man, because I don't want to make it for all for nothing, you know?
Right. And so now, okay, so we're gonna get super deep here.
Oh yeah, let's do it, man.
Because I want
I want you to start crying. That's what I want. I want you to start
I want to
crying.
dig into this brain here. So so you're probably you're bound to keep on growing, and I have
Oh
a
yeah,
feeling like
definitely.
you're going to, your fan base seems very loyal, and I mean it only took me a couple minutes to start seeing that. So hopefully we can be blessed with that, just because
Right.
I think you do have what it takes to to keep that up and consistent. So what would be your biggest fear as a streamer? Let's just say magically
fear.
you do hit it, you make it big, and now you're having this fight to stay relevant. So like what would be your biggest fear? What would be the thing that you're afraid of most? Like all for naught for this.
Maybe getting a girlfriend.
Really?
Yeah, I think getting a relationship will probably bring everything down to shit, possibly, because are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, I was like, did he fall
No, no,
off
no, no,
and
no.
said
I'm
that?
here. I'm here. I'm here.
No, because right now I'm very focused. I'm very like, yeah, this is my thing, and I'm doing my best to not only make the stream great, but also keep myself in shape too. Like I'm trying my best to go get up in the mornings and run and not become the fat cat, you know.
Right.
And but I do think if I ever get that one person that really hits all the dots,
Right.
it might affect my streaming, and I think I would feel really bad about that, especially if that person doesn't understand what the streaming is,
Right.
because I don't know if you watch a lot of other streamers, but some of them they have trouble with the relationships because of the streaming. Because obviously you're putting a lot of time into your streams,
Right. Right.
and
Right.
some of these streamers have full blown families and kids, and sometimes you'll get those people who hit you really hard, and they'll be like, "Well, your wife or your husband or your kids," and they'll talk shit about them,
Right.
and I don't know how I'll be able to take that.
Right.
Like, I think that's possibly my biggest fear if they attack my family or my friends and not try to take it too personally. It's just and then that person that I'm seeing or whatever is if they're like, what if they give you an ultimatum one day and be like, you know what, I don't think this is working out, but if you stream less, maybe we could have a shot. And I'm like, oh my god, what am I supposed to do?
Right. Right.
It's
Right.
like it's I don't know if you've ever had that kind of issue,
Well,
but
yeah.
like,
I'm actually engaged, so
oh, I'm
I
sorry.
can talk. I can
I'm
talk on
sorry.
this. I can
I'm sorry.
talall all day long. That is a very real thing.
Congratulations, by the
Yeah. Oh
way.
yeah.
Congratulations.
I've been engaged for a couple months now.
Do you have any problems with
Oh,
that?
oh yeah, because mine is a loaded deal. My girlfriend came, well, I should say fiance, if you're listening to me, honey. Um,
Baby doll.
yeah, baby doll, sweetheart, whatever you want to be called. Um, she already had a child, so not only
Oh wow.
do I have to be, the loving partner, I also have to be, a father figure, and that's very, very
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
I work full time. I go to college still.
Mhm.
There's a lot, and so a lot of the times I try to stream every single day because of what the people have said. It's just that if people didn't say the things that they did in the very beginning and kept on enforcing these ideas, I would have been long gone. There's talks of retirement. I've always been talking about retirement ever since it's happened because it's been a fluke. I feel like. So it
Oh
does.
man, I really enjoy your streams, man. Really, I
Yeah.
do.
So I'm happy to hear that, and that's you're doing a great job out there, and you're gonna surpass me. Old Nah here is gonna have
No,
to take
don't say that.
take a
Don't
step
say.
back and let the real people get in here. Ooh, nice focus there, nice focus camera. But and that's just what it is. It is extremely difficult because a lot of the times they're not going to understand because that's a
Yeah, yeah.
difficult thing to say because you're saying, hey, They think it's a video game is
Yeah, exactly.
it's a video game. You rather play a video game than spend time with me. What's wrong with me? Why aren't you talking? With the son. Like I've
Exactly.
managed to keep it balanced. I really have, and that's why I usually stream late at
Major
night.
respect, man. Major respect.
It's
Major
hard,
respect.
and I've been trying to go to the gym too because I was a fat kid and I never want to be a fat kid again, sort of
Yeah,
thing.
it
Yeah, then
sucks.
that's the mentality, and that's just
Especially,
yeah,
I was gonna say, especially when you stream for like 14 hours and you get up out of your chair and you're like, and your legs are like cracking, and you're like,
right.
holy shit, what's happening to my legs?
Right, and that's just what it is. It's just it is rough because you're gonna disappoint somebody. It's just like what you were going on about with the fans. You're gonna
Yeah,
disappoint. It's you,
yeah.
you either spend time with your girlfriend, your fiance, your wife, your kids, or you sit down and you go to a bunch of people that are anonymous. They don't know who you are. They may
Right.
or may be not there the next day, but there's that hope. And so it's a lot of that pressure from all around and trying not to disappoint. It's pretty much it eventually becomes a game of not disappointing the least amount of people that you can each time you go.
Yeah, and that's what I fear because I've gotten to the point where I haven't really disappointed anybody yet, at least within my family or friends or my followers. But I know that dark day is coming where eventually that's going to happen. Even no matter how nice I'm trying to be, I know I'm going to disappoint somebody. And I'm just going to try to be wholehearted about it and be like, hey, I'm sorry if you're disappointed in me, but I hope we can still be friends.
Right,
It's
right, right.
just, it's just, because you're right. You're so right. You can't make everyone happy, but I'm doing my best before that day comes when it happens. And
Right.
good luck to you with your family and all that too, man. Because I really respect that. You know
I
how much I
mean,
respect that. Because streaming is hard.
it's
Like
a
like
yes.
like just this year alone, I've learned so much. Just within the past since January, so like 4 or 5 months, whatever. And I've learned so much about the community and about how things work. And I've grown to really connect more with other streamers too, because I know what they go through,
Right.
and it almost feels like a brotherhood. Like as soon as I met you, man, as soon as I met you, I was like, this guy's gonna be a friend because I can tell that this guy's amazing and that he really cares about his community and he's trying. And I was just like, man, I really want to support this guy. And I'm sorry to get all mushy like that. I'm
Yeah,
sorry about
that's
that.
no, it's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fine. But
Let's
it
let's 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 bring out the tissues, okay, man.
yeah,
Hold
that's
on.
what it is. If it has to
Hold
become
on a
tissue
second.
time, we have to come
It's
to
like,
be
hold on.
tissue time.
Oh God. Oh God. Okay.
But that's just, and that's what the problem is that somehow, even now, like, what was it? I don't even know how to phrase this. That the fair weather friends, I guess you would say, or the fair weather followers and whatever else, that's going to be another thing. Is that if you do grow, and I think you eventually are going to probably pick up steam really quick.
Right.
I think it's only a matter of a couple months, maybe, if not a couple weeks, for you to before you start really rocketing. It's going to be that it's going to be the trust thing that people are not going to be trying to write off of whatever success that you may have, and then get
Oh yeah, that shit too.
that
I totally forgot about that.
yeah, because that's what's going to happen. Eventually, it's going to be your friends, and it might be people your mods that are trying just to be really nice because they saw that you had that huge number. And I hate to say, but I've seen it in my streams that issue is when you start really making those growths. You have 40, 50 people coming in, maybe more, 80, 100, even more. That your mods will start asking for shout outs, or
Oh, I see what you're saying.
followers will start asking for shout outs.
Yeah.
And why are you doing collaborations with this streamer but not me? And that's when
Ah,
it starts getting very, very scary. And that's when that's when the dark side of streaming comes through.
that's when all of a sudden you get 1,000 pizza boxes at your door
Right.
for some reason, and you're
Right.
just like, wait, who got this for me? It's just
Or view botted. Like
or
that's
view bought it.
yeah, that was an issue that I've had, and now that's what was soul sucking. I almost gave it up actually, just a couple.
What is that again? If you mind me
Now,
asking,
okay,
view
so
running.
view botting is they literally get viewer. They have some sort of URL, and they just it's like DDoSing, but except for Twitch views, for example. So it'll say there might be only 5 people in the room, but there might be 1,500 people. Like it'll suddenly go from 15 to 1,500. Some of them are gradual, stuff like that.
Really?
And
So it gives you a false pretense of how many people are in your room?
right, it gives you a false pretense, and the problem is, and it boosts you up on the level. I just recently, probably in the last couple months, I had this huge influx. Like I was doing pretty healthy, about 70 to 80 people per stream on my own, and then it started to grow to like 120, 150, and I wasn't thinking about it. I just thought, oh, Bloodborne's super popular. I'm near the end. People are coming in. It seems like the chat is super into it. There's one every,
Right.
comment
Right.
every 2.5 seconds. And then it started to go to 300, then 400, then 500.
What? Wow.
And then it was still going though. I was getting these views. I was getting views out of my mind, like just an obscene amount of views. People were following me left and right. I went from 1,100 people to 1,500 people in less than a month. It was just obscene amount of growth. And then one day I get this message from these people saying, "What the fuck? You're a view botter. What are you doing this for? What are you like? Come on, you really think you're gonna get that button, that subscription button, and then you get the like
Really?
you get the harassment because people think." So the problem is I applied for my partnership. I'm saying like, "Hey, look it, guys. With Twitch, I'm saying, hey, look it. I'm getting 400 or 500 people at a time, 400 to
Right.
500 people at a time. Why are you denying my partnership?" And I'm holding it, and they said it was artificially inflated.
Wow.
And I went, "What do you mean it's artificially inflated?" And they said that it was hit. You were getting hit. We don't know where the numbers are coming from. If it's you, please stop. And if it's not, try to find the people that are doing it. And we're trying to work on it at an engineering level to resolve this issue.
Wow.
So I actually went and installed the VPN thinking that would help. And so far it seems like it's happened, but it was soul sucking because then
Wow.
when I turned off my stream, because when I was getting harassed, turn off the stream, try to start it up again, those numbers of 350 people became 10. And so
Wow.
then the number really starts to hit you that
Yeah.
you really suck. Like you really believed that you were able to hold 300 people, but really there was like 10, 15 people, 20 people in the room.
I never heard that. I never heard the whole viewbot thing. I'm glad you told me. I'm
Yeah.
glad you told me.
So that was always the issue. Like there's a view botting and it's rough shit because it was soul sucking. It was soul
Wow.
crushing. Like I almost gave it up because I was like, oh shit,
I'm-
maybe I am worthless. And then it makes you really go and think about everything that you've done, really where all your successes. So my magical 15, I think it was 1,554 people is now at 1,300 because
Wow.
they removed them. They removed the false views and everything else. So it
Did you-
sucks.
Did you find out who was doing it?
Nope, and they couldn't trace the IP apparently, so I was shit out of luck, is what they told me.
Wow.
They pretty much accused me. They said, if you're doing it, stop, but if you do know who's doing that, tell them to stop, and we're working at an engineering level. So that was the biggest soul-crushing moment in my streaming. Like my
Really sorry to
streaming
hear that, man. I'm really sorry to hear that.
yeah, I thought I was going to be partnered. Like, I really thought, like, because the love was there, people were coming saying, like, how great you are. And then that one day where, like, it was too good to be true, that sucked. So,
Dude, that sucks, man. Like, make sure to hit me up anytime if that shit happens again, because I want to talk you through it. I don't want you to feel bad.
yeah.
Like, because that's crazy. I never even knew that you could do a view bot thing.
Right.
So yeah, well that just shows I have more stuff to learn also on my side. But again, if that ever comes to the point where I get really disappointed, I'll just try to like maybe just talk to the people who believe in me. You know,
Right.
I'll come to you. I'll come to Adam. I'll come to Khan. I'll come to Frags. I'll come to Hana. I'll come to Sixlick. I'll come to any of my followers, and I'll just be like, "Hey, man, am I fucking up? Am I still cool?
Right.
And
Am I still cool?
Am I still cool? And we'll sit down, we'll talk about it, and we'll get through it. You know, that's how I'll do it. But when it comes to people attacking me and doing the whole maybe view bot or what a DDoS or anything like that,
Yeah.
I'll just have to go through it one day at a time because I'm not gonna let them stop me. I'm not gonna let them stop me, dude. We can't let them do this to us.
Right.
We gotta keep on going. We gotta throw the flag high. We can't let that happen, man. We can't, because then they win.
Right.
And we come on here for a reason. We come on here because we enjoy it. We're spreading the word, and we're trying to show that we're trying to show everyone. We're trying to show all those publishers, all those big time corporations that we're more than just numbers. We're more than just these points in a board where the guy's like, oh well, this is going up, this is going down. We're more than that. We're all passionate gamers. We all love everything from all these systems, from puzzles, just racers to all these things. And I love this community with all my heart, especially when you go to like a convention and you're walking around and you just feel the warmth of all these fans, and we can't let the haters get to us, man. We can't. I mean, I'll try my best not to encourage hate, I guess, but sometimes people do it for no reason. So I don't know. I'm just gonna keep on going. Just keep on going no matter what happens. Even if I go for 2 years and still have the same amount of viewers, I'm just gonna keep on going, because it's not a what is it? What's that saying? It's
The only way through, the only way around hell is through it. There's another one.
no. What the Joker said.
Oh, Jesus.
It's not about the money. It's about the message.
Yep.
It's not about the money. It's about the message. And that's the thing I'm going to try to do most with my stream, is to show people that it's not about the fame. It's not about the money. It's about the message that I'm trying to show here. And that is that we can create a community that's really tight and that won't be able to break us down like that,
Right.
It's like, we showed you that this city couldn't go back to you. I can't do a good Batman. I can't do a good Batman impression, but you know what I mean.
Basically. Yeah, right. It's and that's just what it is. It is a lot of for every good person there is a bad person to counteract that individual, because I've been kind of lucky for the most part that most trolls, you either say, hey, dude, you done? And then they'll stop, and then they'll actually talk about the game. Like, I managed to convert a few trolls into actual, like, followers, and that was actually, it's pretty cool to do that. But, yeah, it can get under your skin. So that would be... That's what a lot of people I don't think are prepared for. A lot of people are not prepared for either the success that they may have, or the unilateral hate from trolls, just because it's people that want to see a person's reaction because they're anonymous. They get to see everything that you're doing. It's definitely a bias towards the streamer and everything else. So it's really rough, and people don't understand that there can be some real dark places as well as a lot of light places where you might think that there's only you holding yourself up, but there's 100 different hands, or it might be just a bunch of people that want to watch you burn, hyping you up for no reason, because they think that you're, lesser to anybody else, which really sucks.
I just want to play some video games, man. Is that so hard? Can we just play video games together? Is that so hard? Can I just go on and show you a cool game and shoot the shit for a while and then say goodbye? Is that so hard to do? I think that's what I'm trying to express here. Is that some people get this underlying thing that streaming is supposed to be this like privilege or whatever like that.
Right.
But no, it's more of a, I wouldn't say burden. It's more of a, no, I'm not finding the right word here. It's more of something that you want to do because you're very into it. Like it's coming from you. It's not coming from the followers or anything like that. It's coming from you. And if it's not coming from you, then maybe you shouldn't be doing it.
Right.
And it's just all like Twitch is going to keep on evolving, and we're going to go through all these phases, man. We're going to keep going through all these things, and people are going to come up with more ways to troll and more ways to do that.
Right.
I think the best thing to do is just put on a smile and just be like, well, you got me. I hope you're happy. But I'm gonna keep on going on tomorrow, and I'm going to keep on chucking, and that's so then you show them that, they kind of just wasted the time.
Exactly. So have you now, since we're on the darker side of Twitch, I really this is one thing that I always want to ask people in that regard.
Sure.
What are your views on the whole swatting thing that happened? All
Oh,
the swatting occurrences, the pizza boxes, and all that other stuff. Like,
yeah.
do you really think at any given time, no matter how much of a jag off the streamer may or may not be, how big they may be, you think that any of those are well? Like, what are your thoughts? Like give me your true response to that. No fluff. Like, what do you think? Is that one of your fears? Are you afraid that one day that you're going to get swatted?
Um, yeah, that's definitely a fear for any streamer. Obviously, I mean, I remember I was on Adam Default's podcast 2 weeks ago, and we
Right.
actually were talking to a streamer, and she actually got swatted like 4 months ago with her husband and her kids and everybody, and actually went in there and swatted her. And of course, that's terrible. You know, that's really bad, and I don't understand why people go through that. But I think within the next couple of months, the next couple of years, we're gonna find ways to counteract that, and we just gotta keep on fighting them. I mean, it's a really, really shitty thing. I really hate it. Like, like, because there's almost no way to prevent it in a way, like because of all these restrictions and stuff like that. But if it ever happened to me, I would just try to get through it. Like I said, with all those other things, I would just try to get through it and just view it as a thing. Well, if this guy's attacking me, that means I have to hit back stronger, and just be like, well, that happened, but let's keep on going, guys, and just, but hopefully no one gets hurt. You know, I just hate the feeling that somebody might get hurt and something like that, because you'll see it all the time with these other streamers, like the stuff gets destroyed, like families get scared and all that stuff, but I don't want to hold it up. I just want to get past it. I don't want to be like, oh God, I got swatted. Oh God, or anything like that. As a matter of fact, if it ever happened to me, I might want to just not even acknowledge it. I would just be like, I would probably turn off the stream, go take care of it, and then come back as if nothing happened.
Right.
Just to show that I don't care about that stuff. If that ever happened to me, I might just do that if it happened to me.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would
I would.
just
That's what I'm always afraid of because there's been accounts of, the like streamers' dogs getting killed because that's what the SWAT teams are trained to do. If there's an animal, they're authorized to shoot on sight and kill. And so there's, it's just that the psychological damage that occurs for somebody that might have just been trying to entertain people, and that's
yeah.
like, and that's just what it is. There are those trends because the internet, we're all interconnected. We're giving IPs out to every time we communicate. Whoever's watching you has got a good shot at your IP, if anything. It's
Mhm.
just one of those things. And what ends up happening is that it's gonna. I don't understand the purposes of that, just because they can and will probably get caught one of these days just for you're sending out a
Right.
false police report and you get years in prison for doing something like that. You're saying it's a threat, a terrorist threat, that that this person is whatever, has a bunch of guns or whatever it may be, and they have them stockpiled in their house and they're streaming right now. Go and find them. That's just
It-
what it is.
Unbelievable.
you know
Well, well, hopefully the the police or the industry or whatever they'll start to realize this, and they'll make precautions to not let that happen. Because like as Twitch starts to grow, they should be able to know about this kind of things. They should be able to be like, oh, did you hear about what happened to these people who are streaming video games?
Right.
Like maybe we should take extra precautions before going into a place, or maybe we should analyze these calls better from these people, or maybe we should analyze and just be like, wait, this might be just on a streaming thing, a swatting thing, and then it'll get less of a hassle, especially. But the only thing that really sucks is for people who live in the war areas, or like the less, what do you call it, um,
uh
like the poor areas or whatever, because
right.
then you can't really tell. You
Right.
can't really tell.
Like,
And then I don't know. I hope they can come up with precautions of how to counteract this stuff, because there's got to be a way. There's got to be a way to counteract this. And until then, we just got to keep rolling with the punches, I guess.
right.
Because God damn it, we got a mission to do, man. We got a mission.
That's true. That's
God damn it.
so going back instead of just general standpoints now, and just the horrifying terrors of what can happen. Like, what is your ultimate goal? So when you made your
Oh, the
Lasercat,
ultimate goal?
what is your, like, what's your vision? Like, ideally, besides everything, everything's working out. You might have a subscribe button and whatever it is. What is your ultimate goal as a streamer? Like, do you have a message? Do you just want to harken it back to the good old days, or are you in it for the money? Are you in it for the fame? What makes you tick?
Definitely not for the money. That's definitely not
That's
the
true.
point here.
'Cause they
Like,
don't
definitely
pay
not the
shit.
money. Yeah. They don't pay shit.
Right.
No, I think the coolest thing ever would be to do a gathering. I think that would be the coolest thing ever, is to do like one day, like maybe have a panel somewhere, like at one of these big cons. I think that's when I know I'll be so happy when that happens. Because then if I can get a gathering, I can get most of my followers to actually come to that gathering, and we can all hang out, play video games, maybe watch anime or watch some of these old school 80s movies or something like that.
Akira.
Akira, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would be. I think at that point I would feel like I've made it. I've hit the point where I feel like I've drawn the message home that we can make friends on the internet and we can play video games together. I think that's my message, is being able to make a community that's really tight, a tight community. Like a community where I can be like, hey guys, I'm gonna have a panel at this con. Be cool if you guys can come and hang out, and then freaking like, oh, they all come out and they see me, we all hang out, and we're just having a blast. I think that would be the most part. By the way, we gotta go to TwitchCon, you and me, buddy.
I know.
Gotta go to TwitchCon.
I know.
We gotta go to TwitchCon.
I looked at those tickets though. God, I can't justify it. I can't justify the
Dude.
ticket price. I
Dude,
can't do it.
I'll take you out for dinner that
Okay,
night.
okay.
I'll take you out for dinner.
We'll go. Okay, next time we'll see. We'll see. We'll check up back next year. When is TwitchCon? A couple months from now? I don't.
September.
September. Shit. Oh shit! We might actually have time. We
Yeah.
might have time.
You have time.
I'll,
Yeah,
you
put
know,
it on the calendar, man.
Yeah,
put it on
that's
the calendar.
September. I would love to go to TwitchCon and finally see what it's all about.
Yeah,
I know.
Because Adam's going, man. A lot of other streamers I know that are going. You get to meet my friend Khan. All this cool stuff, buddy.
Yeah, that's what I wouldn't mind. Like, I wouldn't mind doing that at all. UGR, he lives very close to me actually. We went to the same college together and everything else. And he was one of the very first people. He actually gave me an interview way back in the day. It was a paper interview that he posted up on his website at UGR Gaming. And he went to the same college that I did. Super nice guy. He gave me a chance when nobody else would. And that's when I thought, nah, damn it, I can make it.
Yeah.
So it was, like, I love this community for the people that have tried and pushed in for it and everything along those lines. I mean, it's incredible once everybody has a single image that they're trying to help out. Thank you for the follow of the Stigs, by the way. That's Twitch alert going off.
Thank you, Stig. Thank you.
So what ends up happening is that I would love to see that, like, just because really what I want to do is that this is the first time that I've ever been able to be creative. We're going to get mushy here. First time,
Oh yeah.
the only time that I've been able to be, like, really creative in something that I could actually talk with people and do a bunch of stuff that I wanted to do, play video games, meet a bunch of people and all that. And really, all I've ever wanted to do was give back to those people, because it's really
Yeah,
and that's just what it's been. I'm not sure if like, ultimately what I would like to do is I want to do charity. Like, I
would love to do that too. Actually,
see these big time streamers just raising thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
So nice. It's
for
so
whatever,
nice.
and they don't even have to do anything. And that's just what that's what I want to do. There's this foundation called the Extra Life Foundation. I often do some streams for them, and hopefully to boost awareness out of it. I had my best friend. He passed away when I was about 13, I want to say now.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, he passed away, and we used to play Melee and stuff all the time. We've sat up and played the number of matches to unlock Mewtwo, wherever the hell it was, 300 or whatever. And I found out that the Extra Life Foundation was actually was in the hospital that helped him fight off his leukemia. So that was, ever since I found out by that, I've been, like, on a crusade. So what started off as a nice little hobby is a dream to kind of, like, help out with that.
Oh yeah, man. That's great. I would. That's exactly what I would love to do too. Like, one day, do a good charity, because you see these streamers like, I don't know if you watch Zeke or
Right.
Man versus Game,
Yeah, I've watched
but
I watch Soda Poppin' every once in a while to see what he's like, and it's just obscene,
dude,
obscene.
it's like $50,000 sometimes
All
they
day,
raise,
50K
and
in an hour. It's
yeah,
disgusting.
I'm just like, oh my god, that's amazing. I would love to be, I would love to be the center of that energy, creating that awareness and all that stuff. That'd be great. That'd be really cool. Because then I could go and then when that day happens, I could go straight up to my mother and be like, "See, it's not just a game.
Right, right.
It's not just a video game. It's not just or as she likes to say, it's not just Nintendo. It's
Right.
not just Nintendo.
Everything's Nintendo though. That's
Everything's
everything.
Nintendo." But yeah, but that dude, I'm gonna support you all the way, man. Yeah, definitely. I would love to see that happen. Love
Right.
to see that happen.
And that's part of the reason I wanted to keep on doing these interviews. Is just because if for whatever reason, like I don't make a mark or whatever. I want to give back to the people that don't have a voice, because it is very difficult on Twitch to get noticed when you first start off. It's never ever going to be a cakewalk. Never.
It's really hard.
Unless
really
you're added
hard.
by default.
Yeah.
But unless it's going to be hard. It's going to be a grind your entire time for a little bit, and then once you start building that momentum up, it's just that people don't get to say what they want. They don't get to get the spotlight as much as somebody who's got lucky. Most of the time, this is luck. The right people at the right time coming in and just talking, just talking to you, building it up, sharing it with their friends. That, streamers, as much as they want to say, I want to do it by myself, or I'm lone wolfing it,
No, you can't.
you can't. You're never lone wolfing it when you stream.
Yeah.
Like, if you think you can come on and just do, like, you can just play a video game and that your skills alone, unless you're really good, unless you're extremely MLG, legitimate pro, like Banky,
StarCraft.
yeah,
Yeah,
or StarCraft or League of
Yeah,
Legends, Banky
yeah.
half shot, Mountain Dew
Yeah.
shot, swag shot, whatever. It's just you're not gonna be able to do it, and you're gonna need people to back you up. You're gonna need to have the people, and you can't treat them like crap. And
Oh
a
yeah,
lot-
no, of course not. Like with streaming, you have to have people that have you back. Like you have to support people too. It can't just all be about you. You have to support others. People who are trying to get up, or even people who are already up. You gotta support them too.
Right.
And because we're all in this together. That's how I like to see it. We're all in this together, and we're all trying to give the same message. At least that's what I think for most streamers. But that's why, like, I'm so lucky to have some people that help me out all the time. Like, I got my friend Khan, who was always coming to my house and helping me out when I'm feeling down about streaming. I got my friend Pocky, and he makes all these great overlays for my channel, and he just does it out of the goodness of his heart. And I try to help out those guys as much as I can, because I know they're helping me. And the same thing to you, or to Adam, or to anybody that watches my streams. I'll try my best to help them in some way. But of course, someday it might get so crazy, and I hope that when that day comes, they'll understand that I'm doing my best. That's all.
Right.
So.
Right. That's all you can, and that's really all you can do, is you can try your best at it. And some days are really good, and some days are just terrible, soul crushing, crashing, whatever it is, where you feel like garbage. But
yeah,
that's just what it is. Everybody has to get their start, and it's really hard. It's really, really hard to do that. Outside of that, let me see here. We got your ultimate goals, and then any last words. We'll try to probably keep this off, because I think we're well pushing over the hour limit now.
Yeah, no worries. No worries.
So
I'm having a great time. I'm having a great time.
I know time's flying, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So I like
Yeah.
this. So
Yeah.
ultimately, what are your upcoming games? I guess if you want to give a shout out or a shameless self promotion rant, go right ahead.
Well, I'm very looking forward to E3. Like, I was going to ask, can we actually stream us watching E3?
Yeah. Well,
Is that allowed?
no, I don't think it is, because I think it's frowned upon. But I've seen partners do it. That's the problem. I've seen people who are partnered.
Because I would love to do that.
Yeah,
I would love.
if we could just do a straight up chill cast,
Yeah,
like that
chill
would be
cast.
that would be amazing, where we could just sit down, hang out, watch YouTube videos and stuff. Because even YouTube videos are very, you know what
Dude,
I'm
like,
saying?
because that's one thing I've been wanting to do is watch anime with my followers. I've been trying to figure out a way to make it happen because I'm very far behind in my anime, and
Right,
I'm very old school, 90s, early 2000s kind of anime guy, you know.
right,
And I would love to watch the current stuff that's out, but I don't have a lot of time. And I was like thinking, dude, I would love to watch anime with my followers. That would be great.
right.
But I don't think there's any real way to do that right now. Even with Hitbox, I don't think you can do that.
Well, yeah,
So.
Hitbox is a little bit more lenient, but that's just because they're not as much on the radar. Eventually,
Mm.
is what it is that everybody's going to get hit with a cease and desist, and that's what it is. Ultimately, it's going to be a cease and desist, and that's about it.
I mean, couldn't you show them that you actually own the copy?
Well, you
Like
could.
this, this.
There's always technicality with fair use. Like you can technically, I would say, even you could probably push it with fair use and not get taken down if you're saying that you're using it for critiquing or reviewing purposes. You can do that. American, I took plenty of business law in college. It was one of my focuses, you should say. So
Right.
I know a bit about fair use, and I know that it's pretty much the way that you can spin it. If anything, they're not going to waste their time suing you, if anything, but they're probably they might shut down your channel. Hopefully, not shadow ban it or anything
I mean,
along
but
those
because that
lines.
would be so. Because I've seen streamers do that, where sometimes they'll put up the stream, and all they'll do is just look at the chat for like a good 2 hours and just talk to their followers.
Right.
Like I watch Elohim do that all the time, and I'm like, dude, that's awesome. When he just chills out and he just drinks a beer and he's just talking to all of his followers.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, I would love to do that same exact thing while watching an anime or watching a movie. Maybe not a movie because I understand that's crazy, but maybe I don't know. I'm
Right.
just saying it would be nice to have more things to do because slowly Twitch is doing that where they're allowing music, like people who play music to stream.
Right.
They're allowing what is that, game developers? They can actually stream themselves making a game.
Right, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the creative mode, which is
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah.
And it gave people that are artists. I've seen really cool like EDM artists actually make music live and stuff like that. And then you know what? Actually, I'm going to ask this question. How do you feel about Twitch actually doing a show, a TV show, and hosting that there? The Robot Man or whatever the hell it's called, Robot. Is
Well,
anybody-
this is actually the first time I'm hearing about this.
Oh, you haven't heard about this? There's an actual show that Twitch is hosting, which is called like Robot Man or something.
Man.
It's something
Yeah.
like Mr. Robot, where it's pretty
Mr.
much
Robot.
it's like Terminator, except like he's an IT professional or something.
Huh.
That's what's really weird. But pretty much, so from what it looks like too, in that regard, is that we can stream stuff as long as we're not making money off of it. I guess, which is
I guess
really,
so. Yeah.
Crunchyroll, I guess Adam by default is saying is all right to stream, so you might be able to do your anime thing.
Right.
But yeah, now Twitch is actually moving into channels. So I think what they're trying to do is I think they're trying to fight with YouTube because now YouTube is saying that they're starting their own gaming services. So
Oh, really?
there's a bunch of
The Titans.
Right.
The Titans.
It's gonna
They're
be
fighting.
right. It's going to be
Battle of the
crashing.
Titans.
And
Yeah.
Google has a lot more money. I think
Yeah.
so. So that's ultimately what's going to happen, probably. We're probably going to see a weird influx in the next couple of years. YouTube might pick up with its streaming and all that. Mr. Robot. Okay, so yeah, I guess it's confirmed it's Mr. Robot. They're
And
doing-
what is it about?
It's about an android, I guess. And he's trying to track down cyber criminals or something. It's really, it doesn't seem like a really cool idea, but
So
who
it's-
knows?
So it's nothing to do with Twitch at all.
Nothing to do. It's a TV series, and
It's
they're
TV
going to host
series.
it weekly or monthly or something like that. It's got seasons planned out, so they're running their first season on Twitch as of like I think next month now. But they're like, if you watch some of the ads for other streamers, it's all over the place. They're just throwing you
Really?
down. Yeah, they're throwing you
Huh.
down. So it's weird. So what do you think about that now? That not Twitch is not just gaming now. It's not just your creative development or anything to do with games, but now they're actually going into TV shows. Do you think that's going to try to become like the next YouTube?
Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, I actually didn't know about that. Well, but huh. I mean, sure, if they want to try it, that's fine. I just hope they don't forget about their roots. That's the only thing. No, I hope they don't forget about what brought them up was the gamers and the streaming and all that stuff. I hope they don't put too many restrictions on us when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Right.
But it's just because it's slowly like you're starting to see that they're slowly starting to get more and more restrictive Twitch, like
Right.
especially with the whole AO thing that just happened, the adults only thing,
Yeah,
where
because of
like
hatred. You mean
because
the
of
anti-hate?
hatred.
Yeah, that's exactly the
Dude,
only
where's your
reason.
hatred shirt? Where's your hatred
Yeah, I
shirt?
don't know.
Put it on. I'll put
Right.
mine on.
Yeah, that's what I'm, yeah, and that's what it is. It's literally they had no other time because there were big time streamers that were actually doing those point and click porno games. I guess is what they were, whatever the hell they call those things. And they were getting away with it because still they were making money off the viewership. So
Right.
that's what it's this weird slippery slope because hatred is. I don't know if you've heard about hatred or
Oh, of course, of
yeah,
course.
it's ridiculous, but
Yeah.
but that's the truth. That's censorship then. And
Yeah.
even if
Just
you are partnered, even if you have fair warning about what's going on with the stream,
and
like
that
you just can't do it
just
now. Just can't do it. The same thing with topless men.
yeah.
Men can't be topless any longer because of whatever. They have to be
And
equal.
and sometimes when you're streaming and and you're in a room with all these computers off and monitors, it gets pretty
It
hot.
gets hotter than hell.
Like
Yes.
I don't know if you can tell, but I'm kind of sweating already.
Right.
And it would be nice if both me and you could be like, "Well, time to take off the shirts,"
Right.
and just relax. But yeah, it's getting more and more restrictive, and I'm afraid that one day that because like it's that slippery slope. It's just so because sometimes they're really cool. Like with me, like the whole visual novel game thing. Like I'm big on visual novel games myself. I love them because they have great stories, and I
Right.
want to show some of these to the people. But of course, there's visual novels there that pretty much just like with movies or games, that it's just all about the sex, all about the whatever.
Right.
But
Actions blowing up things. Yeah.
yeah, that's why I wish uh, Twitch would have some sort of support where they can actually do research on these games before just outright banning them or just not banning them.
Right.
Like, because like they had that game Shenron Kagura. I don't know if you heard about that. Shenron
Shinran
Kagura.
Kaiga? No, I don't know what the heck
Shenron
that is.
it's a Vita game, right? And it's
Okay.
highly sexualized, kind of like a fighter game from Japan, right?
Uh-huh. So it's like
And
Skullgirls kind of sexualized or even more
oh, even
sexualized?
worse,
Oh.
even more, even more. I mean,
Okay.
like during battle, these girls will transform and they'll basically do that whole Sailor Moon thing where they'll be just a ball of light, but you can see their form and everything,
Oh.
And then they'll get their uniforms when they're fighting, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know what the standing on that game is for Twitch because I've been wanting to stream that game because it's hilarious. It's so funny,
It's outrageous.
and I
Yeah.
thought it'd be a good show. But I think if you stream that game, you'll get banned or they'll take you down because of the explicit. But there's no sex or anything going on in it. It's just the showing of that stuff. That's all. And there's this fine line because if you play Heavy Rain, there's
Right.
tons of nudity in that game. But they're not banning that game.
Well, the
You
same
know.
thing with The Witcher. The first scene is just a bathtub with
Yeah.
boobies all over the place. So,
I
yeah,
mean,
it might be
I mean,
fine, but as long as it's not hatred,
yeah, exactly.
you know,
And
that's
and it sucks because like you said, like if we put on that thing that says mature content incoming,
right.
shouldn't we be allowed to play anything we want? Supposedly,
Right.
supposedly, and if not, just put on multiple barriers. Put another barrier that says, "Hey, just to let you know, we're serious about that mature content. It's coming in." And it's just
Right. Or age verification, even though that's
Yeah.
fake, that still relieves them of liability. That's
I
just
just
what it is.
I just don't want them to put up barriers because then that's when it's starting to be unfun. Then it's going to turn exactly when I was a tester, where it started to become unfun, where I
Right.
couldn't express myself, basically.
Right.
And I just hope that day doesn't come because then people will move on to another channel. Because Twitch is big right now, but I know one day someone's going to come up with another channel and then another channel and then another channel,
Right.
and then people might have options. So I don't know, dude. It's a really exciting time either way. I'm so happy to be streaming at this time.
Right.
But I just hope that you and me and our streamers we can stick together and not let these policies or these people pull us apart, basically.
Right. And that's just what's going to happen. It's growing pains.
Yeah.
You know, it's just what it. And the thing is too is that they're monopolizing on the audience. Adam by default is making a good point here, knowing that most of the Twitch traffic revolves around children who have been. Excuse me. Now the chat's going to move on me. But yeah, revolves around children. And why they have to be censored at some point. It makes sense on paper, but when the Senator's son's daughter watches a game like Hatred with nudity, they have enough pool of deriment Twitch's name. Oh, detriment. Oh, to Twitch's name. Good, I know how to read today. But that's the case. It's like
but isn't that the same thing with the movie theater? I
Right.
mean,
You would see-
can't they go out and just watch a R-rated movie? But they have those barriers to help stop that. You
Right.
know, like with the people monitoring that ad. I think Twitch needs to get more people to work there. Basically, like they need to set some kind of system, which I don't know. It's hard. I don't have the answer, but
Yeah, it's
I
it's because the answer is the internet itself. The nature
Yeah.
of the internet is you can have as many restrictions as possible, but just like human nature, anytime you take away something from someone, they want it more. I don't
Oh,
care
yeah.
if it's a bad thing. They
Yeah.
want it more. So you're gonna stay. You're gonna start
you
censoring.
can't you can't have that cookie.
Right.
You can't have that cookie, man.
Cookie
It's
jar
like,
syndrome.
I'm gonna put it up here. See, you can see it, but you won't be able to have any. And then you're like, you know what? I'm gonna.
Right.
It's like I'm gonna. I don't care what I have to do. I'm gonna get that cookie, even if I have to put myself into harm's risk. I'm gonna get it.
Right.
And that's the same thing with these issues with policies and hatred and
All
AO
that
ratings
crazy,
and all
yeah.
that stuff. Because it's very interesting time. That's what I can say. Very interesting time.
Right.
You know?
That's what it is. It's growing pains. It's growing pains, and then it's just the nature of the people that are going to come here. It's going to be you can't monitor the internet, and that's what the crappy thing is. That's what eventually is going to, you can't force everybody to say, well, you got to put your ID number in every time that you want to go and watch a video or something crazy like that. Like, it sucks. And that's just what it is. Like, the censorship issue is going to be really complex because they're already doing that with streaming music. Like, they're going to
Exactly.
mute your
Yeah.
VODs. They're going to do that. And then, people can't wear what they want. People can't play a game now, a certain game that they wanted to, just because it might be something, even if Hatred is a bigoted game. Yes, they have some insane, crazy stuff, but you could use that still as a learning tool. It's not, of course, there's going to be people who believe that. There's people that believe that every great person that's ever existed in planet Earth is a lizard monster that can
Wow.
shapeshift. Like,
Wow.
and there's a legitimate standing for that.
Illuminati confirmed.
Right, full on triangles all over the fucking place, right? But that's what it is. It's just that it's so weird to censor that, even though it's an anti-hatred game, it's an anti-hatred policy, but
Right.
you can use that as educational. People understand it's a game. When you played Mortal Kombat, you knew that you couldn't shoot a fireball off your hands.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Like, I
Yeah,
stub
of
my toe
course.
on a chair and I cry for 45 minutes. I know that I'm not going to full on punch somebody in the face into a spike pit that leads into an acid bath. Like, I know that that's not going to happen. So
Exactly.
that's what it is. It's that the people that are going to do the crazy stuff anyways, were already crazy to begin with. There's that
Exactly.
disconnect.
Exactly.
Nobody knows. Everybody raise your hand in the stream if you believe you can shoot fireballs because you played Mortal Kombat. It's just like nobody can legitimately do that. You can't go outside the boundaries of the human mind.
I mean, because that's the thing about human society. I mean, we're all so different. Each person is all so different. Like, and I feel like that's why I love to stream, because I can get into a community of people who love the same stuff I love. Like, when I go to my job or anything like that, I sometimes have to put on a face and be like, oh, I'll do my routines.
We all do.
And and it sucks, but then that often that one moment will happen when you're at your job or at something, whatever you're doing, and you'll see a guy with a T-shirt of like your favorite game or something like that, right? And you'll be like, dude, cool T-shirt. And then he'll be like, yeah, man, have you played it? And then you have this instant conversation, and that's what I feel on Twitch all the time. That's
Right.
why I love it. I'm getting that interaction with people who love the stuff I love. But then when you start putting these restrictions, you might miss that guy. You might not be able to see that guy with a T-shirt anymore because of these certain restrictions. And then you'll never be able to meet that cool person.
Right.
And that's the only thing I fear. It's not being able to meet the people that you might have a genuine connection with.
Yeah. And that's true. And that's very true. That is the very positive thing, is that the people that probably show up to your stream had to actually enjoy the game that you were playing.
Exactly.
So you already have that instant connection, because that is the thing. Like, oh, dude, you have a Motley Crue like
Yeah.
T-shirt, like, fuck yeah, I loved them. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, even if I see somebody with a Rob Zombie, because I was a Rob Zombie fan when I was like 15, I'm like, oh, dude, he likes Rob Zombie, and then I was like, let's just keep that quiet. But that's what it is. You instantly, it's just what like Twitch can be used to bring people together, and it worked wonderfully. What people do with St. Jude, the whole St. Jude events that they do with Twitch, the tournament, like the amount of revenue that like gamers especially can raise for something that they believe in, it's unbelievable. Like how many thousands of dollars that Twitch has raised for cancer patients, for example, children's cancer patients. How many people have actually raised money for people that play video games professionally, that they can actually live on their own now and actually be treated like superstars. It's getting its recognition, and that's what I've loved about it the entire time, is that the people, when they believe, It's almost on like a religious experience. It's what it is that they believe in your image.
I mean, you've heard about that saying, if you find the job that doesn't feel like a job to you, that's like your calling, basically.
Right.
Like that's why I feel like being like if you stream and you're just having a blast and you're getting paid for it, that does feel amazing, because you found your golden egg pretty much. You found what those people found on YouTube all those years back, and they just became superstars. And every day it feels like they don't work a day in their life, even though we have stress, of course.
Right.
All of us, we get through the stress and we go through those growing pains when you have those trolls or whatever. But at the end of the day, you look back and you're like, man, I wouldn't have done it any other way, because I've met people like you, Narrcost. I met people like Adam. I've met people like my followers, like Fraganos, Noble, Prince, Desert. All these people who are my followers, and I've grown to really love these guys.
Right.
And it's amazing. I don't want to get choked up here. It's just
right. That's
like even with all this negativity, that's going on through any of this stuff, I just want to let you guys know that we're gonna get through it. We just gotta keep on believing in it. We just gotta keep on talking about it and keep on remembering what brought us here, basically.
Right.
And you're an awesome guy, dude.
See, now you're telling me not to get choked up here. But yeah, I mean, I think that's ideal. Like, it is the honest to God truth. If it wasn't for the few people that came by when you were on the lowest pier, the ant on the asshole of a cow, in the lowest denominator of streaming, those people that just took that one chance to come by and say, hey, you know what, you're pretty cool, kid, or you suck. Yeah. Even if they stopped on by, like in the beginning days, just to say like, hey, you suck a dick, and then they just leave. like, oh man, at least somebody talked to me, because that's what it is like.
He acknowledged me.
Yeah, senpai noticed me, right?
Yeah,
I don't even give a shit what he said to me. It's just what it is. But that's what it. Like, if it wasn't for the people right in the beginning, like Dynamite and like even Adam when he first started showing up to my streams, I can't even remember my first legitimate viewer anymore, and that's what's sad. But I remember, I would remember the name. Like, I remember my 100th follower, Excalibur. If you're still out there, Excalibur 6789 was his name. Yeah. I remember him. He said, "Yeah, this is for you, bro," and he hit that button. And I was like, "Yeah, 100." We had a celebration.
That was great. That was great, man.
It's those sensations. So it's amazing what you people have done for me and everyone else. I mean, there's too many people. I'm Dynamite, Saint, all those other people. It's been wonderful this entire time. So we're gonna try to get down to our closing statements, because this has gone on.
Sure. Sorry about this.
We just went full on, but it's all right. It's all right. I'm having a good time. Yeah. And also, we have a request.
We need to drink next time. I think we need to drink.
Yeah,
so then we can get into the real issues. Be like you know what I think.
My mom never hugged me.
It's like chivalry is dead. And
then beat disgruntled drunks now. But so here we go. I guess we have a request from the audience. They want you to answer this specifically, I guess. What's your feelings about the Ouya before we go?
Oh, what?
What are your feelings about the Ouya?
Well, who asked that question?
Yeah, I believe Pocky. Pocky was the one that asked that question.
It's a piece of shit.
Wow, that is a great review. That's a great review of the Ouya systems, now available at Target on the bottom shelf of the clearance rack.
It's a piece of shit. It's just it's funny because you know my friend Khan, he actually bought the Ouya on Kickstarter. He bought the $100 Ouya, and he still has it and somewhere in his garage right now. So so unfortunately, Kickstarter and all those things, we can talk hours and hours about that.
Right.
But I think we should leave that for another topic because if you're gonna get me on Kickstarter, whoo, we have some stuff to talk about.
Yep, that's another one. But you can also go and check out Adam by Default stream.
Oh, yeah.
We
Yeah, we
briefly
talked-
mentioned over that, but
But closing statements, I guess.
any last minute things that you want to say to your fans, your friends, your family, or other potential Twitch streamers that might possibly want to get on these interviews?
Do you ever feel weird when your family is watching you stream?
I've tried to keep that as much of a secret as possible. So
Yeah, me too.
That's the shitty thing too. I've lived like a double life. There's streaming Nar and then normal Nar.
It's funny. A follower that I had called Windex, he actually was watching me for the longest time, ever since I started this year. And it wasn't until a month ago I realized that he's actually one of my little cousins. And I'm like, dude, why you tell me I've been talking all this shit all the time, and now you know my dark side? And I'm just like, oh shit.
Right.
It's like, I actually got pretty embarrassed when I found that out. But definitely, I think the last thing is, if you ever think about streaming, if you ever want to become a streamer, just do it, man. Like, don't wait too long, like I did. Don't second guess yourself. Just like do the easiest thing. Maybe get a Xbox One or a PS4 and just put on the Twitch app and just start playing a game. And who knows what might happen? You might like it, but just remember what brought you there, though. Don't get lost in the fame. Don't get lost in the money or the people or the trolls, anything like that. Remember what brought you there, and that's the games. I think that's what I wanted to say, like close out with, pretty much.
Damn, how am I gonna go through with that? Yeah,
Sorry.
No, that's a very solid point. Ultimately, yeah, if whoever wants to reach out, feel free to send me an email, message me on YouTube, Twitter, and all that.
This guy's amazing. This guy's amazing. Come talk to him if you wanna have a good time.
Yeah, that ultimately this is what I wanted to do. I want to interview the streamers, the people that wouldn't necessarily have the voice, the camaraderie of the any sort of sponsorships or anything like that, because I really wanted
absolutely nothing, just me.
Right, because Lasercat here, I only met him a couple hours ago, really, but like this guy is fucking rad. So if you haven't checked out his stream, go ahead, twitch.tv / or / wherever that is, Lasercat006.
I'll post it in the chat. Yeah,
go and check him out. He's an excellent streamer, one of the best communities I've seen. So if you're looking for family friend, well, I shouldn't say family friendly, but friendly fun with a great community, go ahead and check his stuff out. And feel free, if you want to go and follow both of us on YouTube and Twitter and all that under Lasercat006 and Narrcost respectively. Feel free to leave comments, subscribe, do all that other stuff, the typical e-begging that we have to do to make sure that you remember. And then I'll check you guys out next time. Thank you so much for stopping on by for this Narrcost, interview. I'll think of a fancier name sometime next time.
Narrcoview?
Narrcoview? There we go. Narrcoview. We'll work on that. Trademark pending. We'll work on that. But thank you for stopping on by for the first batch, making it